The holiday season's here, and with it, we're still actually getting a lot of new games. I mean, like, basically knees deep in new games. Maybe not the best, but some we've actually been waiting on for months, and some surprises. Hello friends, this is Mobile, and here are 15 new games you should probably try and get busy with for Christmas. Remember the port of I Am Security sim game a while ago? Well, an indie developer just attempted to remake that, and it's here now on Android, and it's right over here on Android for free. So this is one of those games where you just download it as a joke and you somehow keep it installed. And it's basically a power trip about saying not tonight to NPCs who just look suspicious. So you're basically a security guard, scam people, confiscate items, and decide who gets bounced and all that stuff. All offline, which already puts it ahead of half of its own kind. It's pretty simple, repetitive, and clearly not deep, and don't expect realism or progression that's gonna change your life. Because it's more mindless queue management than simulation, but for quick sessions it does exactly what it promises. Does any of you here remember Lost Twins? I mean, look, it's a decade old. If you don't remember it, it's totally fine. It's a pretty classic logic puzzle kids game, and it just got a sequel, Lost Twins 2. Apparently the game is out just in China, but you can play it using the tap links down in the description. However, the global versions are still under wraps. This one's a kind of puzzle adventure that quietly insists you to pay attention. You guide Abby and Ben through a platformer, swapping blocks, triggering elevators, and dodging obstacles to find your way home. It can be legitimately tricky, this game, but also rewarding, and honestly the art is just like Miyazaki level drawing. Great animation, good lighting, even better soundtrack. It's a puzzle game that's just soft on stress, but pretty sharp on design. Coming in at number 3, we've got a MMORPG going by the name Eternal Sword Pact. Well, this game, as in its nature a MMORPG, actually works fairly like Sword of Justice, and by that I mean it just leans hard into Chinese mythology. Looks great, there's mountains, seas, cherry blossoms, combat mixes tactical fights with some boss raids which you can tackle solo with friends, while progression relies on farming, leveling, and collecting gear. There's a story which is convoluted but kind of fun if you like demons and drama, though you'll mostly just be focused on battling and just growing stronger. It's a big, pretty MMORPG that's out in global since a week ago and takes about 4 GB of storage. Play it if you can, but if you could afford Where Winds Meet and its 40 GB of storage requirements, give that a try. Available now on Android and iOS, taking you no charge, nothing demanding, just a couple of gigabytes of storage. Believe it or not, Capcom's actually managed to keep the whole vibe of the real Resident Evil games, and it's almost like playing a real Resident Evil game at times. Although instead of sprinting and hoping zombies miss hugging you, Resident Evil Survival Unit gets you ordering squads around and stressing over barricades. It's that classic Resident Evil tension, just reorganized into pure strategy panic. You manage a crew, fortify, and pray your plan doesn't collapse. Pretty messy, strategic, definitely more addictive on mobile than on PC. It's free and just got a new update as well, so why not? Although there are at this moment of talking a few better games we could recommend, like Codename Crime or Garena Free City, but Pure Crime just got itself a free new update. It's worth a quick mention, at least if you've enjoyed it before and had it down for a little bit. Now is a pretty good time to hop back in, really. I mean, the game is basically Grand Theft Auto mobile with like less chill. Tons of heists, a full day and night cycle, tons of weapons, and a police system that actually makes you sweat, plus controller support if you're too classy for touchscreen. It's Pure Crime, pure mobile mayhem, just how we like it, now offering more of that free goodness on Android.
Listen up. I don't usually ask for help, but this isn't just another target.
I found that no one is untouchable.
Well, only at Hitman games could you get paid to kill someone. So Eminet vs Slim Shady is now live if you missed it, letting Agent 47 clean up a Japanese asylum, while the real Slim debates existential rap questions. So this one actually free for all, and the starter pack, or as a limited exclusive target for existing players. There's DLC, cosmetics, and apparently a jar of spaghetti sauce, because why not? It's pretty absurd, slightly hilarious, and probably the closest, you're gonna get to feeling like a contract killer in a rap video. Totally optional, fleeting, and exactly the kind of bizarre content that Hitman's been doing the best. Now look guys, mobile football games always say they're about skill, but what they usually mean is just menus. Be a Pro Football kinda leans fully into that reality, meaning you're gonna be spending more time tweaking formations, skill trees, and transfers than actual pulling off a perfect football. So matches look pretty slick and run smoothly, but the real game actually happens before kickoff, not during it. Look, basically if you enjoy optimizing lineups, playing the market, watching plans succeed on autopilot, this scratches that specific itch. If you're hoping for some sweaty controller snapping moments, this isn't that. But it's pretty polished, competent, and actually quite aware of what it really wants to be. Now on another hand, Pure Sniper is basically every sniper simulator that you've ignored on PC roll into a mobile game. So we're bringing this game into the list not only because it's a damn fine, possibly the best sniping mobile game out there right now on the whole platform, but because there's new and more story campaign levels that you can now enjoy for free. More helicopters, hostage rescues, slow-mo kills, all offline, or if you like PvP, it lets you just show off against randoms who probably lose anyway. Controls are pretty solid with this game. For tap it and dragon, the gun variety is just enough to make you feel like a one-man army at times. The grind for upgrades is real, and you will definitely get lost just in its content. Pretty flashy game over the top, and definitely it's a freemium class. Going down to number 9, we have the game Project Abigail, which comes in as the indie developer's work, and it's a pretty serious, high-time work as well. Definitely not just another typical horror game, but it's a kind that makes you second-guess every sound that you hear. So you're in this collapsing Area 51, where Abigail, which is an AI prototype, is gonna remember why she's here. Footsteps, noises, everything's a panic. There's no map, no safe route, just a constant tension of being watched by something that adapts faster than you can even plan. If you like horror games that doesn't pause for comfort, although you can pause the game, this offline Android title delivers a quiet, relentless threat. It actually plays offline as well. So here's the thing, if you've ever tried to explain a video game to relatives around holidays, this is Netflix gaming straight at that problem. So Dead Man's Party is basically social deduction with a Knives Out coat of paint. You know the movie Knives Out? There's one killer, lots of accusing, and good luck finding out who did it. You play Jackbox style, phones as controllers, TV as the stage, which honestly works better than it should. And look, if you just basically ever touched Among Us or Werewolf, you already know the rhythm. The real question isn't whether it's fun, it probably is, but whether Netflix sticks with ideas like this or abandon it for the next gimmick. So just go ahead and enjoy this thing while it's actually there. Imagine a little town where the sun's never gonna rise and everyone acts like nothing's wrong. Well, that's gotta be the game Recollect or Recollect. I don't know. Your spaceship crashes basically. You wander around streets helping these people with their requests. A drink here, a pigeon there, while slowly uncovering why this place is stuck in this endless night loop thing. In fact, the pixel art keeps it pretty simple but charming, letting this strange quiet breathe down your neck. There's no rush, no combat, it's just you, the townfolk, and a sense that something bigger was waiting. And eventually actually a pretty cool twist along the way. Anyway, Recollect as a free game on Android and iOS. It's offline, it's a demo. The full game's about $7.
Venture into the heart of Europe.
Well, guys, Way the Hunter is actually coming to mobile, a whole PC kit. DLCs included. And not the usual mobile version, but a legit open world track through Transylvania kind of exploration. I mean, you're tracking blood trails, reading wind direction, and dealing with ballistics. In fact, so realistic you'd be thinking the device just leveled up. It's gonna be a pretty slow game, heavy, mad, immersive, basically the last game anyone expected to see on mobile. It's in pre-registration state and due out January 13th for the price of $10.
Coolest.
Tavern Tales, on the other hand, is a indie action RPG from the developers of Soul Knight, Guard, Invasion. I mean, legit some of the best mobile games ever made. And it's a roguelike, this one. The kind that really sneaks up where you expect it like the least. So you start in a tavern, the only safe spot in a cube world cursed by a witch, and suddenly the floor shifts under your feet. And there's now dungeons, paths, traps, mobs, and just a ton of surprises. You recruit a bizarre mix of these heroes and go get loot. In fact, the cube world keeps it pretty tense, the tavern keeps it charming, calming, just a roguelike game that feels alive. If you can't, however, play the game yet, just wait another week when it's out globally. Oh, guys, you know the famous mobile game, the puzzle romance game called Love is in Small Things? I mean, hopefully you do. The same developers released a new game, which is a idle RPG, and if you've seen one idle RPG called Droid Rising recently on an ad and probably ignored it, just keep in mind this Droid Rising really sneaks in some actual strategy with it. So basically you grow the forest alongside your heroes, and this forest unlocks new abilities and summons that affect battles. The buffs are random, meaning no two fights are going to feel identical, and allies add a layer of tactical planning. Got equipments, customs, and skills all give you some meaningful progression instead of just numbers. Basically, it's an idle game in name, but it makes you think. I would say it's pretty much closely right up there with games as big as AFK Arena. And on another hand, last but not least, we've got the game Auto Heroes Strategy that tries to pass itself off as an idle RPG, but it's also about thinking while the units do the heavy lifting. You assemble a team, tweak their setups, and watch them fight. The strategy comes from knowing which heroes to build, how to position them, and when to let them auto fight versus the stages. Pretty simple concept, light on flair, but it really scratches both an idle and a strategy game itch as well.